healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
This is Paul Feinbaum. That'll do it for me today. Coming up next, The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Only 2 homestands remain for your Rocket City Trash Pandas. Come on out to Toyota Field for a week filled with promotions August 26th through the 31st. The homestand includes Huntsville Stars Night on the 28th, Huntsville Havoc Night on the 29th, and the week closes out with a Labor Day celebration on the 31st. Get your tickets now at TrashPandasBaseball.com.
Let's rock it.
It's the Ford Summer Sales Event at Woody Anderson Ford. Hey folks, Bobby White back again, and I'm here to tell you now is the time to get the Ford you've been thinking about. From 0-down leases to 0% financing, we've got it going on this summer. Woody Anderson Ford has financing as low as 0% for 48 months, plus 0 down payment, plus 0 payments for 90 days, plus 2-year 25,000-mile complimentary maintenance. You can choose a 2025 Escape, F-150, Explorer, or a Mustang. Or how about 0 down lease? $499 a month for a 2025 Explorer, F-150, or Bronco. And just $399 a month for Bronco Sport, Mustang, and Escape. Again, these are 0 down with complimentary maintenance too. This is a 36-month lease with 0 down, 0 security deposit, just tax, tag, title, and your good credit. These offers end 9/2/25. It's our Woody Anderson Ford Summer Sales Event. So hurry on down. I'm Bobby White, and I hope to see you soon.
This is Steve Moulton for Tellini's Italiano. Tellini's Italiano is located right in front of the Walmart, right off of University, behind the McDonald's. More or less catty corner from Topgolf. It's one of my favorite places to go to, and if you go there, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, you need to try the baked spaghetti, add a meatball. Also try the baked ziti with meat sauce, add sausage. You'll thank me. Save room for some pizzas and paninis as well. And don't forget about dessert as well. The best cheesecake I have had here in North Alabama is at Tellini's Italiano. Find out for yourself today. That's Tellini's Italiano, right off of University Drive in front of the Walmart. Located online at Tellinis.com. That's TELLINIS.com. Let's get some Tellini's tonight.
John Abraham here for the parts department at Bobcat of Huntsville. Not only do these guys carry genuine OEM Bobcat parts, they also have a full line of Marshalltown concrete supplies. On top of that, they have a wide selection of arborist tools and supplies on hand for you tree guys. Bobcat of Huntsville also has a full service department, and don't forget the sales and rental guys too. Come on down and visit the all-new Bobcat of Huntsville location in Madison on Highway 20 next to the Redstone Harley-Davidson.
This is Bill Crawford with Crawdad's Countdown to Kickoff. I've recently had a stem cell procedure on my right knee from Dr. Charles Lee of Regenesis. Stem cells are harvested from your body and re-administered back into your body. This approach is painless, quick, and requires no lengthy rehab. My knee feels better already. Regenesis is located at 4601 Whitesburg Drive in Huntsville, Alabama. Call 256-715-8193 or Google their website for more information.
This will turn journalism on its ear.
Watch our stream on WZZN TV on Twitch and YouTube.
But you are the greatest hero in American history.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. This hour is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore. Welcome to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, 256-576-4977.
That's how I roll. And I'm not going to drink and drive anymore.
That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Wes and Steve.
Come on now. Welcome into The Drive, live here from Woody Anderson Ford. We got football tonight, boys and girls. We've got football going on tonight.
Football all weekend. Thank goodness.
From now until, I believe, next Tuesday, we've got football every day. And
there's a college game tonight, right?
Missouri and Central Arkansas. And you got the Bears and Tigers.
And
tomorrow you got quite a few.
I thought
really
Boise State plays tonight too.
You could be right. You're probably right. I'm just saying what is at least on my hit parade. Let me look up to see exactly.
Jacksonville State tonight. Thank you very much.
Oh, are they really? I did not.
Playing?
Yeah, who's Jack State playing? UCF. They're playing UCF tonight.
That's right.
6:00 kick time on ESPN Plus.
Just
the old ESPN Plus.
Yeah. Hello, Joe.
Yeah, the old ESPN Plus.
No, a friend of the show, Mike Paris, and he and I were texting a few minutes ago. Just good luck for tonight and a good season.
Outstanding. Boise State is at South Florida. That game is going on right now.
That's what I thought.
On the four-letter network that begins with entertainment. That is ESPN. And then also about to kick off is Louisiana, Lafayette, taking on Bowling Green. Are you aware of this?
That's not tonight, is it?
It's on my scoreboard.
Oh.
And then
no, I didn't.
Ohio is at Rutgers. Delaware State's at Delaware. You know, when those two teams face off, you can throw the records out. Delaware State and Delaware. I just remember that Wayne's World joke of get to go to Delaware. Anyway, East Carolina's at NC State. Jack State's at UCF. That's 6:00. What else? Louisiana Monroe is taking on St. Francis, Pennsylvania. Wyoming's at Akron. Central Arkansas is at Missouri. Elon is at Duke. UT Martin is at Oklahoma State. Buffalo is at Minnesota. Stephen F. Austin is at Houston. Miami of Ohio is at Wisconsin. Stony Brook visits San Diego State, the Aztecs. Bethune-Cookman's at FIU. You want me to keep going? There's quite a few games going on here. Here tonight. Then tomorrow, of course, Auburn and Baylor, as well as Georgia Tech and Colorado. But on the games...
That's Lafayette, not Louisiana Lafayette.
So there's now a difference?
Yeah, that's the Lafayette is the Lafayette Leopards.
So there's two different schools in Lafayette?
No. I guess that's a different Lafayette. It's not in Lafayette, Louisiana.
Oh, it's okay. All right.
Yeah.
But you see why I would think.
Well,
kind of?
Yeah, because the University of Louisiana.
They just call themselves Louisiana.
Yeah.
They okay. All right. Forgive me for that mix up.
Oh, well.
Missouri is playing tonight and had a chance to talk to Drinkwitz yesterday in the teleconference. And since that game is an hour from kick, enjoy.
Well, wanted to ask about the decision to play both quarterbacks from what I read. One, if I read that correct, and two, maybe kind of a thought process heading into the game tomorrow night, Coach.
Yeah, I think both quarterbacks have done an excellent job of doing the things that we've asked them to do. And there wasn't enough separation that I felt like that there was a clear-cut starter. And so the next best evaluation is in a live football game to see how guys respond, not only to preparation and a game plan, but also respond to a crowd, also respond to being tackled and being hit. And, I've done it before where you alternate every two series or each quarter. And I just didn't feel like that was a healthy way. We did it in 23 where we played both halves, and I felt like it gave our offense a chance to play with some rhythm, and it gave our quarterbacks a chance to be evaluated. And so that's the plan going into it. As with anything, plans are subject to change based off the environment, what's going on, but that's what we'll plan on doing.
From a play calling standpoint, Coach, I am curious how much you dive into maybe your tendencies and trying to shake things up during an off season, entering into a new season. How much do you kind of judge? Not necessarily, certainly you want to play to the strength of your players. I get that. But from a play calling philosophy, how much does that change over the years with you personally, Coach?
Yeah, well, it changed a lot 2 years ago when I gave up play calling. So, my deal now is to look at the overview of the offense and make sure that it runs based off of the philosophy that we have, which is rhythm, attack, execute. When you look at last year, we didn't really have an offensive rhythm and we weren't very attacking, but we did execute well in critical situations, which gave us an opportunity to win games. Specifically on third downs, we were top 15 in the country. In turnovers, we were one of the top teams in the country with ball security. So for us, it's about continuing to do those things well, but figuring out how we can play with more rhythm and attack more, both vertically and in the run game.
That is Eli Drinkowitz, as Missouri will be the first team in the SEC to tee it up, and that is in less than an hour. Coming up this weekend, of course, you got Alabama taking on Florida State, and then coming up on Sunday, we've got the Bama recap show, and I'm just telling you right now, you might want to head over our website. Even if you're driving, just find a safe place, turn off, because there is a current zone deal that is out there. There's quite a few new zone deals that launched today that you might want to take a look at. Yeah, we've got, of course, Sea Salt. Well, by the way, we'll be at Sea Salt next Tuesday to wrap up the weekend. Carrabba's Italian Grill, Bad Daddy's Burger Bar, Corlejo's Mexican Grill, Bigfoot Little Donuts, as well as Cherokee Ridge Golf Course. But some of the newer ones, and of course, the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. We were there on Tuesday. Popeyes Louisiana Chicken. You heard me right. Popeyes Louisiana Chicken.
Is that on
that is
right
on
now?
Zone Deals right now. Good Company Cafe. That's an oldie but a goodie. But also, where did I put it? Got this on Zone Deals as well.
When the final whistle blows, the conversation is just getting started. Catch the Alabama Football Recap Show with Drew DeArmond and Steve Moulton on 97.7 The Zone. Brought to you by Dreamland Barbecue in Huntsville, proud title sponsor of the Recap Show. Because when it comes to football and ribs, everybody knows ain't nothing like them nowhere. Alabama football, Dreamland Barbecue, the perfect team.
So next Thursday, we will be at Dreamland. And
so I was in Duluth, Georgia. Went through Duluth.
Yeah,
they have a Dreamland.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Man, that place is really
it's beautiful.
Grown up. But yes, Dreamland Barbecue is on our Zone Deals.
Ain't nothing like it nowhere.
I'm just again, this is why I preface this by saying you might want to find a good spot to turn off the road and do this responsibly. I do not text while driving. But I want everybody to be safe out there. But yes, Dreamland Barbecue is front and center on our Zone Deals, and we will be there next Thursday. And really appreciate the fine folks at Dreamland Barbecue being our presenting sponsor of the Alabama Football Recap Show, which Drew and I will once again dive into, and may need some wet naps there with some Dreamland Barbecue as well. Coming up on the program today, in about 5 minutes' time, we will talk to Corey Reamer from the Crimson Tide Sports Network. He'll be roaming the sidelines down there in Tallahassee. And by the way, some good news, at least from the National Weather Service, from what I read today, is that it looks like it's going to be drier than what it was predicted yesterday down in Tallahassee, but it will still be muggy. After all, it is Florida in August. And then coming up at the top of the hour, the one and only Coach Jack Crow is going to join us, and he's always very opinionated and wanted to get him on before the season starts as well. So let's go ahead and take our first time out. Corey Reamer from the Crimson Tide Sports Network, and of course, a former Alabama football player himself, joins us next.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
It's the Ford Summer Sales Event at Woody Anderson Ford. Hey folks, Bobby White back again, and I'm here to tell you now is the time to get the Ford you've been thinking about. From 0 down leases to 0% financing, we've got it going on this summer. Woody Anderson Ford has financing as low as 0% for 48 months, plus 0 down payment, plus 0 payments for 90 days, plus 2-year 25,000-mile complimentary maintenance. You can choose a 2025 Escape, F-150, Explorer, or a Mustang. Or how about 0 down lease? $499 a month for a 2025 Explorer, F-150, or Bronco. And just $399 a month for Bronco Sport, Mustang, and Escape. Again, these are 0 down with complimentary maintenance too. This is a 36-month lease with 0 down, 0 security deposit, just tax, tag, title, and your good credit. These offers end 9/2/25. It's our Woody Anderson Ford Summer Sales Event. So hurry on down. I'm Bobby White, and I hope to see you soon.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
You'll love the expanded wine selection at Liquor Express. From special occasion to everyday table wines, they've got what you need. Meet your friends at the largest tap wall in Alabama with 105 rotating selections. Then take home a growler full of your favorite or choose from our 1,000 canned or bottled beers. Need help stocking your bar or planning your party? Liquor Express has a knowledgeable, professional in-house staff that can assist you with anything from your bar to the planning of your special event. Visit liquorexpress.net for tasting specials, giveaways, and classes.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of Jacob Title. Stan, I've heard that every real estate closing at Jacob Title is a very big deal.
Every closing is a very big deal at Jacob Title because when it's your closing and your contract on the line, it's a very big deal, and we understand that at Jacob Title.
So it sounds like whether your client is a first-time residential buyer or a multi-million-dollar investor, they can expect your A-game.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, when you bring your real estate closing to us at Jacob Title, we understand it's all about trust and confidence.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where AFS comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at afsrepair.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
This segment of The Drive is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, located online at woodyAndersonFord.com with 2 locations, Hughes Road in Madison and Jordan Lane in Huntsville.
Well, you'll get in the fast lane pretty quickly here at Woody Anderson Ford. We're right across from the service department here at Woody Anderson Ford. Drive responsibly, everybody. And if you happen to be on YouTube, got it front and center of the old school bus. And I mean the old school bus here inside the showroom here at Woody Anderson Ford.
walking up to Braves and Filthies coming up in hour number 2. But we've got some football going on tonight as well, with Missouri taking on the Bears of Central Arkansas. But this weekend, we'll have the Alabama Crimson Tide from the Crimson Tide Sports Network as they travel to Tallahassee, taking on the Florida State Seminoles. And Corey Reamer from the Crimson Tide Sports Network will be roaming the sidelines. How are you, Corey?
Steve, doing good, man. How about you?
It's here. We are
It's
right
here,
on top of it.
Got it on TV. I'm watching it. Just the feeling's here.
Are you going to have one of those hat fans on down there?
I'm going to have a poncho. I'm going to be I got duck boots and rain gear is what I'll
Is it supposed to rain?
Yeah, it's supposed to rain all morning. Some thunder. Well, last I looked, hopefully it's changed, but they said that there was supposed to be some lightning and some thunderstorms in the afternoon, but hopefully it's just not like that South Florida game a few years ago.
Yeah, that's immediately, and everybody's kind of pivoting to that. And certainly Ty Simpson is well aware of what a wet ball is more than anything. But even that game had before that lightning stoppage and after the lightning stoppage. And I'm sure folks.
Ty Simpson didn't play in that game, did he?
I thought didn't he start in that game?
No.
He didn't start.
Buckner.
Yeah, it was Buckner that started that game.
Yeah, that was the game they sat Jalen, and Buckner started, and Ty played the second half. They split reps. They gave Buckner the first half and Ty Simpson the second half.
And then everybody voted for Jalen Monroe after that game.
All right. Good. We'll take Jalen back. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it feels like the bigger story is the health report. Goodness gracious. Of what is going on in the running back room and along the offensive line heading into this game.
Yeah, I feel like I jinxed it. I went down and watched practice last week, and I was talking to Coach DeBoer and said, the best thing about camp, the best thing that can come out of camp is a healthy roster. So far, it's been so pretty good, and unfortunately, this week it's not been such great news. So we've got to deal with a few injuries, and hopefully we're able to. The good news is that running back, I feel pretty good about the depth that we have back there. It's not ideal to lose a couple guys and lose the problem is you get one more injury during the game, then it becomes real thin real fast. So hopefully, I know we had some guys that were participating today, but were in non-contact jerseys, and hopefully they're able to play on Saturday. We'll see.
So, who's definitely out in this game?
I believe the definites are Jam Miller and Jaden Roberts, and then you'll have to fill me in on the other definites. But
I think you're spot on right there with the definites. I'm quietly hearing stuff about Daniel Hill. I don't know what's true or untrue about that, but the definites, I think you're spot on.
Well, I was told that it was a defensive lineman, a starter that we interviewed.
Oh yeah, Tim Keenan. Yeah.
He's having tightrope surgery or had tightrope surgery this morning.
That is correct.
So he's out for a month.
Yep.
Yeah.
How did we miss that one? That's a big one. You got a captain of your team that's already having. And tightrope is, they've done wonderful things. Norm Waldrop is one of the best foot surgeons, and Dr. Lyle Kane. They're really good at what they do. And even with that, it's just going to take a little while to get him back, and hopefully he's the same when he comes back. But
it's not like he's light on his feet. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Exactly. There's a lot of pressure on those ankles.
Yeah, and he's a quick guy. That's the other thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. If you're a fat center, you're all right.
You wouldn't know anything about that.
Yeah, I can speak from experience there, but those nose guards have to move around and run to the football.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Here's Cody didn't pursue very many.
I saw him one day, though. It was the damnedest thing I've ever seen. He tackled somebody in the game, and the guy totally disappeared. I mean, you couldn't see a finger. I mean, nothing. He was gone. And he got up. It looked like a cartoon. Yeah.
Yeah. All the injuries, it's all, you hate to see it. It's all, and that's the name of the game. Y'all know this. Every single year we've really struggled to get past, the regular season into the postseason and have success in the postseason. It's all because, whoever the healthiest team at the end of the year has the best chance to win the championship. And that's, you hate to start the season with a number of guys that are going to be sitting on the sideline, but hopefully all these guys we've been talking about will be able. I know Jan Miller's projected to come back for the Georgia game, and tightrope surgery goes well for Tim Keenan. Hopefully he's able to return pretty quickly, at least middle of the season at some point, be able to help us out towards the end of the year. Obviously schedule gets tough. It's all tough, but the back half of the year when you can get some, you definitely could use some help. And luckily we got some depth on the defensive line. Hopefully these guys are ready to step in and plug and play.
Do you know who's starting on the defensive line now?
Well, I think LT Overton is definitely one of those guys, and Tim Keenan was the other. And now
who's 23? He was hurt in practice, but I think he's back now, isn't he? Who's 23, Steve?
I'm gonna have to consult my handy dandy roster here.
I talked about this recently, and I am obviously still working on this. But now we got a game in 2 days. But this is the hardest part about being in this business now of talking about teams and rosters and who these players are. It's gotten more 100%. Difficult because of the portal and NIL and everything else. It's just like it changes so much.
James Smith. Is 23.
Yeah.
And James Smith is one of the better defensive linemen we have that played really at the end of last year played really, really well.
You didn't have any 23s that played defensive line back in the day, did you?
No, no.
Yeah, me neither.
I think our 23 was Booby. His name was Booby something though. He wasn't very there long. Booby, if he'd been there long if you remembered his name, right? I'm the only one that knows his name.
Yeah. Well, Robbie Green was my 23. He was
That's right.
For us. Yep.
But he didn't stay very long though, didn't he? He just stayed a year.
I think he was there for a couple of years, and then I think he had some. He got into some trouble, if I remember correct. But last I heard, he's doing real well.
Good.
Training a bunch of kids down in Louisiana. He was a good player.
He was. He played a lot as a freshman.
He did.
He was in Wesley's class.
Yep, that's right. That's right.
Right. So there. I was sitting there.
You're the only one that calls him Wesley, right?
Yeah, I'm the only one that calls him Wesley.
When you said that, no, that's not true.
Really?
We did.
Y'all did.
Wesley.
It's when he started coaching. Coach Saban started calling him Wes.
Yeah,
that's the name change.
That was when the name change became. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got to tell you the story. So I got my nephew coaches at Georgia, and it's my brother's son. And we rode over there yesterday to watch practice. So we're on the way over there, and his son calls us and says, "Hey, I just got a call from Kirby, and he wanted to know why Wes Neighbors was coming to his practice." And he was thinking of Wes's Ole Miss.
Yeah.
And then he says, "Well, you got to tell them not to have you can't use their cell phones." And there's like, they know how to act. They're not going to do that. But I wanted to pull it out. Yeah, right. But I was telling somebody in Georgia, they were so nice to us, and their place is in very impressive because it was the last one built, and probably be the last one built for some time because of the NIL, right?
Because nobody's going to facilities anymore.
No, So I mean, everybody's got what they got now, and that's what they're going to get. So for a while, anyway, and we had an absolute blast, but it was. I was telling the story when Connor was at LSU and Wesley was at Alabama. LSU, I had access, and you know this, Steve. They gave me access to the tape. I could watch Connor practice, every practice. And
enemy.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is though, it's not like I was giving them ideas.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's hard to pull against Alabama when you grew up. I've been going to Tuscaloosa since I was a baby. And, but of course you want to see Connor do good. I was just watching Connor play and develop and talk to him about certain things. And because he'd never played offense, but maybe one or two games in special situations in high school, he'd always plays defense. And we used to watch you because you were always played square, just like D'Amico Ryans, right? Who did you watch?
Yep.
How important is it to play square when you play linebacker?
How important is it to do what?
To be square when you're playing linebacker. In other words, don't turn your shoulders.
Yeah, don't turn your shoulders, don't turn your hips. Man, that was D'Amico was one of the best at it. I was pretty good. I was surrounded.
You were
by
very
a lot
good
of
at
guys.
it. Yeah.
I was Sal Sinceri was probably one of the best coaches that I had, and that was one of his biggest emphasis for me was, he great player, great coach, and he knew what my abilities were and my disabilities were as a linebacker, and he hammered home on keeping a square frame and setting the edge. It was, but we obviously had some great defensive coaches, but that was watching D'Amico and Freddie Roach and Juwan Simpson and all those guys that were before me. I had some pretty good teachers down there.
So talk about when you set the edge, what you're doing. 'Cause I know people hear that and they're listening and you hear it all the time. And we didn't set the edge on that play, this or that. So how do you set the edge? And because when in Little League, they used to go run up field kind of to a certain play and contain.
And stop.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Keep it contained. It hasn't changed a ton. It's just, as an outside backer in the old system, and not a lot's changed from that standpoint either. You either got cover 2 or some version of a cover 3. There's a lot of different numbers you can call out there, but you either got guys on the corner that are playing squat in the flat, or you've got guys that are playing, their third of or division of the field. And so the backer, you always had to sit there. You knew what the coverage was behind you, and that determined on who sets the edge. Because if you got cover 2 and you got a pulling guard or a fullback coming at you, you're going to take them on with your, you're going to try to get that ball to bounce outside because you're forcing the play to go to where the edge is of the defense. The edge in cover 2 is that corner. You're asking, that corner is the one whose responsibility is to cover the flat. He comes up there and he's the one who makes the tackle. You got to bounce it out to him. That's where your help is. And the opposite side of that is when you got cover 3, you got your corners that are bailing out. Your safeties are rolling down strong, and you got to figure out, you got to pull in guard. Now you got to turn everything back inside where all your help is. And so a lot of people get frustrated when if you watch the game, you don't know the coverage, and you see these backers that are forcing the ball to bubble outside. Well, there's a reason why. There's supposed to be the corner that's out there that's filling in as your support in the run game to come up and make that tackle. That's what the whole goal is. And people think that we've given up the edge or not set the edge, but that's what they're supposed to do. And then, again, if you're trying to contain or turn everything back into your middle of the piece of defense, that's when you go and take them out and you don't let them get outside. Now, it's frustrating when you watch a guy who's got his responsibility is contained and you let a ball get outside of you, then your defense they've just found the weakness of your defense and you don't have anybody to fill that hole. So
that's when the guy's running wide open down the sideline.
That's a buck naked run is what it's called. You're done. Defense is just play and chase at that point.
Well, Gus Malzahn loves him
in a lot
some
of
run
games,
game.
Steve, buck naked's good, and this is bad.
Yeah, I appreciate that clarification. As we're talking to Corey Reamer right now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, felt appropriate to mention that. Gus Malzahn loves him some run game, so we are going to see quite a bit of that. But tell me what you think about Gus being in charge of this offense, a newly revamped offense there with a transfer quarterback, and I'll just leave the canvas to you. What do you think we're going to see Saturday offensively out of the Seminoles?
I think that's a great question, is what I think. And I think we all know Gus Malzahn very well. We're very familiar with what he's done in the past and seen his offenses. Now you got Tommy Castellanos transfers in from Boston College, and he feels pretty confident about what their offense is doing, and he's made it very clear that he's confident in it. But you go back to the days when Gus Malzahn was offensive coordinator, not head coach. He knows how to run an offense that can cause a lot of problems for any defense. The positive, or I don't know how you spin this, but the difference is now when we've known Gus Malzahn, we were with Coach Saban's defense, which is a very man-heavy, put guys on islands on the outside, pattern match defense from a coverage standpoint. And this defense is going to look very different, than what, I'm sure Gus has seen it before, but it's not the Alabama defense that we got accustomed to for the last, 17 years. So I fully expect that, they're going to still use the RPO as he always has, with a quarterback that is as mobile as Tommy is. And then it's all going to be eye candy and testing the eye discipline of this defense. Try to catch these guys off guard. Everything looks like it's going one way, and then all of a sudden you've got somebody running free, uncovered. Same thing we saw all the years in the past of just creating chaos by the looks that he's trying to give us from an offensive, how they line up and the shifts that they make pre-snap, and then misdirection, trying to test the discipline of this defense. The good news is this defense is returning a lot of experience, in my opinion, and they've seen a lot. They're comfortable in this system. Kane Womack has a lot of faith in all these guys, where they're going to be able to play a lot faster, and that's Coach Womack's plan is like he doesn't want to be as complicated as probably Coach Saban and Coach Smart were. He wants these guys to go out there and play as fast as possible. And it worked well last year. There were some games that we probably would have loved a better performance, but overall this defense was one of the best defenses in the country. If you look at statistics, the only thing that we lacked was getting sacks on the quarterback, but in turn, we got the ball out quickly and created a lot of turnovers. So I imagine Gus is going to be trying to get the ball out quickly, especially with this front seven that Alabama's got this weekend. This is an experienced group, and it's one of our better units. And but he's going to continue to do the same thing like he did in 2009. He's going to hit us with a whole quarter of trick plays, and they're going to find themselves up 14-0. Hopefully not this weekend, but that's what happened to us in 2009. You got to claw your way back, and he's creative. He's going to find ways to really get the ball in a lot of people's hands, and that RPO it requires guys doing what they're supposed to do. You've got a responsibility for every call that's made. If you mess it up, you take on guys with the wrong shoulder. You don't bounce the ball to where the help is. It can become a big play in a hurry, and that's what he's looking for.
Who do you think on this team will be the guy that's coming out of nowhere, kind of? You know what I'm saying? That's going to be the guy that people will be talking about after this game that they didn't know before.
Bray Hubbard, kind of.
Yeah.
I think
is there a guy?
Well, from a defensive standpoint, Dejoun Lee is already making a name. People are already talking about him. He is that corner that is a freshman who is 6'4". He's long. He's athletic. He's found his way into competing for a starting job at the corner position in the SEC as a freshman. If you're at that level, that is very difficult to attain. And I'm excited to watch him play. We've got, if that happens, you've got Damani Jackson as well that's going to be out there. You've got three good corners that you could go out there, and if you have three good corners as any defensive coordinator, you feel the most confident that you could possibly feel. There's nobody that you can really find mismatches with. And so I'm excited to see what he's going to be able to bring to the table. Jeremy Bernard is a guy that kind of fell under the radar last year just because of who Ryan Williams is, but I'm excited about what he's going to be able to do this year with Ty Simpson at quarterback. And he's a guy that has breakaway speed, and he's on the outside. He's going to be able to make some plays, so that should be fun to watch as well.
From a special team standpoint, that's always the most overlooked heading into a season. The practice you went to, what did you see in terms of, was special teams part of that practice that you went to?
Yeah, I didn't get to see much. There was a few opportunities to see what they were doing on special teams. They were running some scripted situational stuff that I was there for, so not a ton of special teams, opportunities for me to get to witness. And I think that there's obviously a competition that's going on at the kicker role, and before Will Reichard and before J.K. Scott, some of these guys that we've had over the last few years, there's always like, who's going to be the kicker and what's it going to look like, and the confidence level that everybody had when Will Reichard was out there is just incredible. And having that we don't realize as Alabama fans how much of a luxury that was during those years that he was there. And so what I saw was, I didn't see anything that gave me any reason to be concerned. Did I learn a lot from what I've seen so far this offseason? Probably not enough to be able to have a huge opinion on it at this point. And everything changes when you go to Tallahassee and you play on Saturdays. It's easy to do when you're at practice playing against yourselves, and they do as best they can to recreate those environments. But I think, hopefully, like Ty Simpson said, if we could just end every drive with a kick, no matter how those kicks look, that's okay. You're not dead, and you've got opportunities for the defense to go out there and play. And I think from an offensive standpoint, Ty can lean on this defense, and not have to go out there and be a hero. That doesn't mean he's not going to go out there and take shots and take opportunities and try to win ball games. But when you have a defense of this caliber, of what we think should be of this caliber, it makes the whole team look a little bit better in all aspects of it.
I have pretty high expectations of this team. I have the Alabama Crimson Tide winning the SEC just from what you see. Do they look fully capable to you of winning a Southeastern Conference title? Yeah, I think that this is a team that, not just because of the players that are out there, but of all the intangibles that you can have on a team, when you go to practice and you see a lot of these guys that are taking ownership as a team, as captains, as players, they're holding everybody, not just the captains, it's the whole team. There's a standard that these players are holding each other to, which is great to see. That's what you want as a coach. Coaches love that they're not having to yell at anybody to hustle, to run off the field, to do the little things right. And what I've seen so far is there's a lot of ownership from the locker room of this team. So I'm with you. I think this could be a really fun year to watch. This is going to be a talented team, but this is a team that, second year, everybody's had a chance. If they wanted to leave, then they were able to. And who you have remaining and who you've recruited that has done a great job with both of those aspects. This could be a really good team. Offensive line looks really good, in my opinion, to go out there and really have a lot of success. Every position group's like we talked about right when we started, just about staying healthy. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
100%.
Safe travels to you. I did see on Twitter that at least your play-by-play guy stopped in Troy for some barbecue. So I mean,
he's already on the road.
Yeah. He's already sampling some Q on the road. So safe travels to you, and we'll look forward to hearing you right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Thank you, sir.
Hey, appreciate you guys. Roll Tide.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Corey Reamer. He'll be on the sideline. And, Chris Stewart tweeting out pictures of stops that he's making along the line on it. It's a long trek to Tallahassee.
Yes.
There is no direct route to Tallahassee from anywhere in the state of Alabama. Anyway.
Dothan. It's not far from Dothan.
Still got to get on 10, and you think it's just like right down the road, but it ain't.
Yeah. Well, it's not that far.
I've done way too many Pensacola Valdosta trips to know that it is not right around the corner. Anyway, let's take our final time out. I had a chance to talk to the Easter Bunny yesterday. I'll pull that out of the hat. Coming up on the other side is Ole Miss takes on Georgia State, a team that beat an SEC team last year. But I did talk defense with the offensive guru and his running game, as that was certainly lacking last year. We're live here at Woody Anderson Ford.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Sure, Valley Equipment Rental takes care of the homeowner and his needs, but how about the pros out there? Well, Valley Equipment has the big stuff as well. The equipment you need to get any job done. I'm talking about the big track hoe excavators, from the 30,000-pound mid-size one to the big boy 50,000-pound units. Need a dozer on the job? Well, they've got them up to 105 horsepower, and that's a good-sized machine. Plus, Valley Equipment has more lifts than anyone around. Up to 80-foot booms that reach 56 feet with a 10,000-pound capacity. 2 locations, North and South Parkway. Check them out today.
Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. At the Aldridge Law Firm in the Legal Town Center, we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188. Just remember, we're here to help, whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete. We're here to help.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Have you seen the beautiful new Nexus apartment community right next to UAH? Nexus is designed exclusively for students. You'll love having private bedrooms and bathrooms, a fully furnished kitchen, and incredible amenities like 2 courtyards, a refreshing pool with grilling stations, and TV, gaming, and study lounges, all within an easy walk to campus and your classes. If you want the full collegiate experience, come take a personal tour at Nexus today. Log on nexusonhomes.com to see more, including limited time rate specials.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where AFS comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at afsrepair.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Your Fox 54 weather, brought to you by Tellini's Italiano.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Mostly cloudy sky this afternoon. We're talking about the chance for some scattered showers and thunderstorms. That activity should begin to break up as we head into the evening. Temperatures climbing into the upper 70s and lower 80s, dropping into the mid and upper 50s as we head into the overnight. Some folks only dropping into the lower 60s. A partly sunny sky for your Friday. Temperatures climbing into the mid 80s.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Listen to the Rocket City Trash Pandas all season long.
Swung on lifted, deep left, back goes O'Donnell, he looks up, it's good, and it's over! Denzer again, the goose is loose!
Trash Panda Baseball is only on Talk Radio WZZN.
Got scores all over the place in college football. Second quarter, Rutgers over the Bobcats of Ohio, 10-7. That's on the Big Ten Network. You got Bowling Green 7-0 over Lafayette, not Louisiana, but Lafayette. That's in Bowling Green. That's on ESPN Plus. And then South Florida is losing at home right now, midway through the second quarter, to Boise State. The 25th ranked in the team in the country leads at 7-3 at Raymond James Stadium there at the Big Sombrero. Later on tonight, of course, it will be Missouri taking on Central Arkansas. That is the first SEC school to tee it up, and it will be on the SEC Network. Back here live at Woody Anderson Ford, along with Wes Neighbors. Steve Moulton back here with you. Wes went on a field trip yesterday. And I tell you what, before we hear from Kirby Smart and my rather lengthy 1 minute and 17-second back and forth with the now 10th year head coach of the Georgia Bulldogs, tell me a little report card from your field trip.
Oh, as I said, it was a lot of fun. Their facilities are amazing. When they got there, they used to have to bus to their field from their they bus 15 minutes to go to practice. And he said, if it rained or lightning, they'd have to go get on the bus and keep them there until it quit raining or lightning, and then they would come back on.
There was no building there.
It was awful. And their facility only had 50 yards, and really it wasn't that much as far as how do you. We heard Kirby talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were the last, they finally got it all done.
Got themselves an indoor facility and everything.
Yeah. And
with a full football field.
Yeah, it's a full football field and really nice. And, they eat there. Everything's done there just like at Alabama.
I was about to say, that sounds familiar.
Yeah. So, and his practice is just like Alabama's used to be when Coach Saban was there, except for the fact he has a microphone. And
karaoke,
but no, he is talking continuously, and you do not want to bring your children to practice.
My daughter says she can hear Kirby.
Oh, yeah, you can have to. Yeah, there's two huge speakers, and he's literally commentating the whole time. And it was one of the funnest things I've ever been to. I'd go again tomorrow if I could.
Yeah,
it was just entertaining to listen because people have no idea what's really going on in practice, what they're saying. This kind of keeps the veil, because this is the way practice was. It's very intense. It has to be. You got to be pushed to get better, and that's what he's doing. And it's just interesting to because I had two people there telling me everything about every coach, and I knew some of the coaches there as well. Several that either coached with Wesley or I played against, or
that's cool.
Played at Auburn when I was at Alabama. That Stacy Searles, I talked to him, and Coach Dye absolutely used to talk about him and absolutely loved him. So it was a lot of fun, and I'm glad I went. And it's not convenient for me to go during the week, obviously.
Yeah,
but I thought it would be it was a fun trip. I had I've been there several times.
Mm-hmm.
To go to games, but you don't realize how I never toured the campus. It's really hilly.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I can vouch for that. Scooter is probably the best mode of transportation.
Most dangerous. I wouldn't be on a scooter.
There's also that too.
Especially those Georgia guys driving around there.
There's a couple of Georgia.
Yeah. So the last 2 years, Georgia's had 40 of their players arrested.
Yeah, that's real.
That's ridiculous. I mean, it is.
Yeah.
And I found out today there's several of ours were arrested when I was there. I didn't even know. So, I mean, but, you know, it's you look at that, and that's the only negative, and that's probably why they hadn't won the championships the last 2 years. That affects your team 100%, you know, because they have the coaches, they have the facilities now to recruit. That's obvious. The players are getting – it's obvious that nobody, though, and one of the things that all they were talking about is nobody has the depth they did because of NIL.
Yeah.
And so then it becomes who has, like you said, that you have the top 10 or the top 20 teams that can win it, and are those 20 who doesn't have the injuries?
Yeah, your November team is
Alabama's. You know, if Alabama's full strength, they're going to be really good.
But now you're starting without 3 of your top 25.
2 of I would argue with the number 1 or one of the top leaders on offense and the top leaders on defense.
Yeah.
And that's who everybody looks to in a close game when everything's not going like it's supposed to. Somebody big has to make a play. And 2 of those guys are not there any longer. Plus, well, they will be. I think they'll be back for the Georgia game. We were talking about that too over there. And, you know, there's a little thing about Alabama over there. They've been their huckleberry. But they have the longest home winning streak going right now. Georgia
35.
Does.
Not that I know off the top of my head.
Yeah. And they have I think they play Tennessee in Knoxville, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So the big circled game
is
Alabama on the 27th of September.
So they'll play they have 2 cupcakes, the Indiana type games. And then
the Indiana schedule kicks in.
Yeah. And they're over there acting like they're worried because they don't know they got 70 new players at Marshall. And I'm thinking, you know what I'm thinking? They got 70 new players at Marshall. Y'all going to be fine. And a whole new coaching staff.
I went there with Kirby. Here is my back and forth with the 10th year head coach at the University of Georgia, Kirby Smart.
Coach, I've heard you say a couple of times about hitting more this fall. Have you seen what you've wanted to see out of your team being more physical this fall, Coach?
Some days, some sides of the ball, sometimes. I don't know that I can say it's perfect. I don't know that I can say we've tackled as well as we need to. We need to tackle better, and the only way to do that is tackle. So we get to play tackle football Saturday, and I think we, as well as every team in the country, is trying to avoid injury for the depth issues. And in doing that, you don't get to live tackle. So we get to do that this weekend, and we'll find out where we are.
And on the subject of Marshall, Coach, how difficult of a prep was it considering the changeover there for the Thundering Herd, Coach?
Yeah, it was unique. It was different. The difficulty of it is not knowing, you got history of coordinators, you got history of assistant coaches, you got history of head coaches, and then you got partial histories of players from offenses they were in, and you're trying to piece all that together. So it makes that part a little unique, I would say.
That is Kirby Smart as Georgia and Marshall square off. And as for Ole Miss, they are getting ready to welcome in the Panthers of Georgia State, a team that beat Vanderbilt last year on their home field there in Atlanta. But this is in the Grove. And here is my conversation with the Easter Bunny.
You mentioned earlier in the week about your defense having some potential to get back to where your defense was a year ago. What makes you feel that way entering into game one, Coach?
Well, we have all the same coaches. That helps. And then we have some really good players that either have been here or have been brought in that fit really good profiles, height, weight, speed, playmaking ability, but we got to put them together, and that's the challenge. And we've done a really good job, I feel like, the last 2 years of that, putting together different groups. And so we'll have it again, and hopefully we'll be led up front by the D-line.
Well, we have focused a lot on the quarterback in particular, but I'm more interested in your run game. How would you assess where you think the overall, be it the O-line, blocking the right ways, and your run game as a whole is right now, Coach?
Well, I think we'll know a lot more Saturday. I think that there's a lot of, it's almost all new, majority of the running backs, O-line, there's a lot of new stuff there. So we'll see how it comes together. Obviously, hopefully better than last year. I think you should look at last year, when you talk about whatever, the number 2 scoring defense in the country and number 3 scoring offense in the country. I think that's pretty elite level and doing a lot of things right. And I feel like the only thing really missing last year, from being a championship team, if you think about 3 games that were so close, is the run game.
That is Lane Kiffin, and I couldn't agree more, honestly. That was the one gigantic piece that was missing off of a very talented team last year.
No question. And kick your field goals, Lane. Kick them. First quarter, kick your field goal. I get it. There's certain times you have to go for it, and it's less than 1. But going for it multiple times in the red zone when you can kick a field goal on 4th down is just not. Sooner or later you just kick it. You got 3 down. You play the percentages and playing the percentages early is you kick. You're about the better team. You take the points. The points.
Had a really good response from Steve Sarkisian. As Texas, by the way, you'll be able to hear the Texas game against Ohio State over on Talk Radio WZZN with the pregame starting at 10:30. But really, it was a really good answer. What I thought was a good answer from Steve Sarkisian about playing the same opponent in the same calendar year.
I heard your press conference earlier the week, but I'm really intrigued with starting with the same team that you just played in the last game in terms of preparing. I know that was a quick turnaround for that semifinal game, but this long layoff, how different or similar is preparing for the same team in a given calendar year for you, Coach?
Oddly enough, this isn't the first time I've had to do this. I've had to do this another time in my career when I was at the University of Washington. We played Boise State in the Las Vegas Bowl in 2012, I guess it was. And then the start of the 2013 season, we turned around and opened with them the next year. So not completely foreign to it. We had kind of a similar situation with Nebraska around that same time. I think, part of it is, schematically, how much are people really going to change? But names and faces, some of them can remain the same. Some of them are new. And then, how do people evolve and grow in their roles that are some of the returning faces? And so, there's challenges to it all. I think at the end of the day, there's some commonalities. I'm sure that there'll be some new things, and maybe they move some pieces around, some people in different spots, whether it's, what do they do with Jeremiah? Is they use them the same way? Is they use them differently? Do they use them on punt returns? Do they use them on kick returns? How much do they do with Caleb Downs, Sonny Styles? So a lot of similar names from last year. It's just how much do they evolve? And then how much have we evolved with some of the people in our organization and some of the schemes? And so that's part of the process of a game one. And that's always one of the challenges of game one is the unknowns. And then trying to put your players in the best position to have some success.
That is Steve Sarkisian. Again, Texas at Ohio State, a game you can hear over on Talk Radio, WZZN, Saturday morning at 10:30. Coach Jack Crow is set to join us next as we're live here at Woody Anderson Ford.
It's the Ford Summer Sales Event at Woody Anderson Ford. Hey folks, Bobby White back again, and I'm here to tell you now is the time to get the Ford you've been thinking about. From 0 down leases to 0% financing, we've got it going on this summer. Woody Anderson Ford has financing as low as 0% for 48 months, plus 0 down payment, plus 0 payments for 90 days, plus 2-year 25,000-mile complimentary maintenance. You can choose a 2025 Escape, F-150, Explorer, or a Mustang. Or how about 0 down lease? $499 a month for a 2025 Explorer, F-150, or Bronco. And just $399 a month for Bronco Sport, Mustang, and Escape. Again, these are 0 down with complimentary maintenance too. This is a 36-month lease with 0 down, 0 security deposit, just tax, tag, title, and your good credit. These offers end 9/2/25. It's our Woody Anderson Ford Summer Sales Event, so hurry on down. I'm Bobby White, and I hope to see you soon.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Nick DeLuca. Big deal out of Big D. After an offseason standoff, Micah Parsons is heading to the Packers. The Cowboys trading their 4-time Pro Bowl edge rusher for a pair of first-round picks and Pro Bowl defensive tackle Kenny Clark. Parsons getting the long-term contract he was looking for, 4 years, $188 million, with $136 million guaranteed to make him the highest-paid non-quarterback in NFL history. ESPN's Courtney Cronin says Parsons makes the Packers Super Bowl favorites.
If you add the premier pass rusher in the NFL right now, you instantly become the top of the list Super Bowl contender. I know we were talking about Mike T's list yesterday and who can actually dethrone the Philadelphia Eagles. Would the Eagles be in that mix even? I think above the Eagles. If this happens to the Green Bay Packers, they are instantly the representative coming out of the NFC that you expect to be in the Super Bowl.
Cronin on unsportsmanlike. Parsons was named to the Pro Bowl in each of his first 4 seasons. The only other Cowboys to start their careers with 4 selections to the Pro Bowl, Zach Martin and Hall of Famers Emmitt Smith and Mel Renfro. Parsons was a finalist for NFL Defensive Player of the Year 3 times in his 4 years in Dallas. In college football, week 1 getting going tonight. Number 25 Boise State, fresh off a trip to the playoff, battling USF. The Bulls up 10-7, 2:25 to go in the second. Byron Brown 8-13 for 105. The game on ESPN TV.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Friday with week 1 of the college football season upon us, who are the biggest sleeper teams that have a chance to make a run to the college football playoff? We'll tell you on Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
.97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Welcome to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, 256-576-4977.
That's how I roll. And I'm not going to drink and drive anymore.
That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Wes and Steve.
Back here at Woody Anderson Ford, kickoff around the country for week 1 in college football underway. You heard there South Florida right now up on Boise State 10-7. You've got Ohio hanging with Rutgers on the Big Ten Network. Rutgers leads it 17-14 with 8 minutes left to go before halftime there. And about to kick it at the Bounce House is UCF taking on Jacksonville State, as we bring in someone who I think is probably going to be distracted during this interview. And, of course, that is Coach Jack Crow, the former head coach at Jacksonville State, who is being told watching. And why wouldn't you, Coach? How are you?
I am. And I'm watching it, Wes, with Ward Pell. You know, if you remember Chaz.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sitting here. Of course, we're always telling old SEC stories. For people to know, Ward is Charlie Pell's widow, and we're talking about SEC football. But we're watching our Gamecocks.
There you go.
As well, you should. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun right there, Coach.
Yeah, it'll be
so
good.
Any stories you want to share with the class since you went there?
Well, I don't know. You know, she remembers Bo cutting back across the grain, which the time I was at Auburn, we played Florida. They were the toughest team on us of anybody we played, and if Bo didn't do it, we didn't get it done. So that's what I remember. Didn't always have a good plan against them. So Charlie Pell's great football coach. I think you know that, Wes.
One of the funnest times I ever had was went to the Florida game, and he took me around. It was like going with Elvis. I went everywhere.
Right.
Of course,
Right.
he played next to my dad.
Yeah.
He played guard, and
you family.
so
That's what wars
yeah.
are.
So we went down to the game, and next thing I know, he was walking around. Next thing I know, I was with him, and I stayed with him for 4 hours
You
before
were
the
on the
game.
field probably.
No, I didn't go on. I hated going on the field.
Sideline, Wes.
Yeah,
Worst
no,
sideline.
I didn't work the sideline.
In the SEC. Worst sideline for an opponent is that damn. Excuse my French. That visitor sideline down there in Gainesville. I mean, we got harassed.
Yeah, because it's right on the field. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, they can drink your water out of your cup.
And they can. It's not 100%. I mean, you feel like you're safer on the field than you are on the bench.
And they were so goddamn good on top of it. That was thing.
So but it was like being with Elvis. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah.
They absolutely loved them some Charlie Pell.
Oh,
love them in Florida.
Charlie left there. Things happen with coaches, but you have to give him the turnaround moment at Florida. They were about like Pat Dye was, which is all goes back to Coach Bryant.
So Florida beat
like Coach Dye was.
Right. So 100%.
Everything changed. Yeah. Everything changed for those guys.
So Florida beat the dog at Alabama 31-7. They put Jay Barker in. He scored the 7. And after that, Alabama didn't lose a game for a year and a half. They won 28 straight, 28 or 29. Yeah. I think they had a tie in there too.
Yeah, there's nothing like SEC football, man. I'm telling you, everybody just wishes they could play. And I don't accept Texas, Oklahoma has been them.
They hadn't been in long enough. Maybe another 5 years.
Yes, they ain't earned their way as far as I'm concerned.
Coach, I've been a big proponent of Auburn's 3 permanent. We don't know yet, as of course the 2 have to be Georgia and Alabama. But I've been a big proponent of putting Florida in there because Florida Auburn back in the day, that was big.
Yeah, I had to. It was all because in my mind that Charlie was there, and Coach Dye used to call it the Amen Corner. It was Florida, Georgia, Alabama. Those last 3 games we were looking at.
That's right.
And we could be undefeated. We could be doing anything. And we ain't been to Amen Corner yet, so we haven't really played anybody. I mean, because Vince Dooley, Alabama Tristan, Charlie down there. I mean, it was just, and you made your way going through that corner. Made your life going through that corner. Y'all ready for Florida State?
We'll find out. I mean, you look at Alabama and other than the quarterback getting hurt, Tim Keenum had ankle. What is that? The
tightrope
surgery today.
Yeah.
He's out to the Georgia game. You got your leader on offense and a leader on defense. 2 senior leaders out. So I'm not as confident as I would be if they were playing. But who knows what you're going to get nowadays, right? It's a box of chocolates. But Alabama has a lot of talent. I just don't think Florida State will be able to cover Alabama.
I don't think so either. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be a dog fight. I mean, going to Tallahassee, I've done it more than once, and
it's supposed to be thunderstorms too, which interrupts everything.
Yeah, and it's going to be a dog fight. I do have just an enormous amount of confidence that Ty Simpson's a grown man. I mean, he's a version of guys that you start with Jay Barker, he's a lot better thrower than Jay, and the guys that won national championships, their names not coming. I mean, he's cut out the same cloth as those guys. I mean, the quarterback is not going to be an issue. I'll tell you that. Now, they better be able to run the ball. And the thing about losing that running back, now that would just, I know this, your backup is never as good as your first one, or I say shouldn't be, and rarely would you say that he is. So, they're for me, it's running the ball and stopping the run. Not
100%.
What you're going to feature as how you win, but everything comes off of that.
In the
They lost
games
the running back
Alabama
and the-
lost last year, they could not stop the run.
And here's a nose tackle that's not going to be playing. Is that right, or a three?
Yes, that's Tim Keem. That's the one that had the tightrope straight, and he was a leader of the team, big leader of the team.
I mean, I was with Lyle Kane Tuesday night, stood there and talked to him for 45 minutes. We had that event, by the way, and sold out. It was.
Well, I was out of town in an airport in in Charlotte when I see Paul Feinbaum walk by. Of course, I was in
coming or going. Was it coming to the event?
He was coming to the. I guess he was coming to the event. I just assumed.
Yeah. He was. He started 6:00. He and Tommy were on the stage, and I'm telling you now, that was prime time. Those two going at it. There was a lot more between those two. For example, okay, I'm going to start a. They said it in public, but come to find out, Feinbaum's the one that told Tommy that the plane was going to Louisville. That's what they said. I'm going, what? How many conspiracy stories did and Feinbaum looked at him and said, how about that pine box that they were going to have to get you out of home? It was all, hey, it was well worth the price of admission. We made a lot.
So I talked to Tommy about that a long time ago, and he told me that they made some promises on day one that they were going to do the facilities, this or that.
He brought that up.
And then all of a sudden, when he said he was staying, they said they were going to put it off for a couple of years.
I'm not going to do politics for anybody, but I tell you what now, last night, Tommy was every bit of what I would want to have as a governor. I've always just seen a football guy, and, I've known Tommy 40 years, and I'm saying, Trump blessed you and all that kind of stuff. Man, he knew exactly what his mission was to become governor last night. And Tommy don't fake it now. It comes, I'm proud that we have a chance that he's going to be governor, and I'm not politicking. But, he did he and Paul, they did a really, I told Paul we'd send a plane after him, and he flew commercial. What?
Oh, yeah. He was heading down there are no big planes fly to Alabama out of there. They fly two there, but not back.
I tell you, who's big teller in this thing is tomorrow night now with Auburn West. You may remember I used to coach at Baylor, and we won a conference championship at Baylor. I was there, and I finally sort of reached my limit there. And as long as you weren't Texas or Texas A&M, you better watch out. Now they just had a damn mental block about beating Texas and Texas A&M, and it bothered the heck out of me. We beat everybody, and Tommy was Tutterville was a defensive coordinator at Texas A&M. We were trying to do this. But to say this about what Auburn's looking into, that night game in Waco with those kids, it is not an SEC game. Wes, put it your terms, my terms, it will be a killing field. If you don't have character, you won't be there at the end. There's going to be some character check going on. And I can't wait. I'm not even going to be in a room with anybody when that one starts. I want to see the whites of their eyes for this, because I think it's going to just really set where the barometer is, on the Auburn program, because they've been so, just honestly, it's embarrassing it's embarrassing to know what it was at one time. I don't like watching, but I'm gonna bring my hope every beginning of every year. You know what? I just want to see some character, Wes. I just want to see some goddamn character.
So that's what you think the problem is? You think that there's not enough intestinal fortitude put on the team, or what do you think's missing? Because it looks like something's missing to me too.
Well, and you've heard this because it all came from Coach Ryan. Every game's going to have 4 or 5 plays that are going to decide the game. Okay, 4 or 5 plays. And then there aren't going to be 70-yard touchdowns. They're going to be a critical keep the drive going in the fourth quarter. They're just going to be where everybody that's lined up on that field, 22 people, know how important that damn play is. I call those character plays. It may be for 2 yards. It may, whatever. And I just not have seen them make the critical plays in so long. And hell, we used to live off critical plays. We in 82 and in 83, if it came down to red zone plays and critical downs, if it came down to possession downs where you had to keep the ball, or they were dropping them back to keep the ball, we'd make those goddamn plays because we lived for them. We fought for them. I just don't. Doesn't mean it's not there. Auburn's always going to have character. I'm not insulting Auburn's character because Auburn's got character. He's not playing with it.
Yeah. So when you think about when you playing like Mike Tyson boxing, what he's talking about, there's 5 or 6 punches you got in the game that takes a little energy from your opponent.
Yeah.
And either you're going to make them or they're going to make them.
Absolutely.
And that's how to look at it, kind of. And he's right. It can be a 70-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
But it can be a 4th and a half yard.
That's it.
On the goal line. And that's why Texas didn't play for the national championship last year. And Ohio State did.
And honestly, I think they got it. Now that's always going to be their problem. But they ain't Auburn. They're not Alabama. Auburn, Alabama now, they're bred for that stuff. Texas ain't ever been bred for that stuff in recent generations anyway. So, anyway, don't get me started.
Hearing from Coach Aranda, he really likes his defensive front. And he went as far as saying that he is depending on at least one of them winning their one-on-one battles, which from a defensive guy, I'm anticipating maybe not a whole lot of blitzing tomorrow night.
Yeah. Well, in his time at LSU now, they were the epitome of what SEC football is, I thought. Didn't you, Wes? I mean, they friggin' slobber knock you. That culture can be created in Waco, and I just think that it's going to be a bunch of toughness out there. Don't be looking for something pretty, because the pretty don't last. Better be looking for somebody who can win a goddamn fight out there. So when it gets down to the fourth quarter and it's been 98 degrees all damn game, there ain't nobody going to be pretty.
No, that's the daggone truth. The third team quarterback over there on the sideline.
Third team quarterback.
Waving at his girlfriend in the stand.
Lord.
So
anyway, I think Alabama's going to be really good, but man, nobody can lose. I mean, what I've heard, and Lyle, is their team doctor, and he was standing there last night. We talked about it. He's the best doctor in the country, by the way.
No question. Yeah.
Don't know about it. He is the best in the country.
He operated on all my kids. Lyle was a walk-on freshman when I was a senior.
Yeah. Boy, you look at him, I can't remember. He was my team doctor at Jacksonville State.
Wow.
Before he went to Alabama. Yeah. I know Lyle. I was the executive director of the American Sports Medicine Institute before I went to Jacksonville, that little 4-year sabbatical where I was out of coaching. And he was a fella. So, Lyle and I, we talk at a lot of different levels. I'm telling you now, he could put a guy on. He could challenge a guy. You want a doctor like this? He could challenge a guy to suck it up and get your butt back out there, man. Not many people get that.
Because he was a doctor that played. He understands.
Yeah.
So, with those 4 years, the first year, were you okay with it, being out of football?
Well, I thought I wanted to make a lot of money, and I was given the people in Arkansas took care of me unbelievably. And I was given a job that I could have made $2 million a year. All the latitude I needed. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of Stevens Inc. in Little Rock, Arkansas, but they're the largest investment banking firm off Wall Street. You know where Warren Stevens is today? He's an ambassador to England. He was my boss. So give you some of the magnitude of that.
Damn, Coach, when we going?
Yeah.
Well, my point was I spent 2 years doing that, realized I wasn't motivated by money. I needed to prove I could make it. And then I'm on Dr. Andrews' board, and I'm sitting in there, and I'm sort of, honestly, I'm bitching to Jimmy about having to be on a plane. I said, this is like recruiting, man. I don't care how much money you get. You don't like your life. And he says, well, I got something for you. How about coming in here and being the first full-time executive director of ASMI? And boy, sometimes somebody gives you something and they just catch you right. And I said, when do I start? It wasn't a high-paying job, but for 2 years I trained doctors. I really learned what I became in the foundation. I realized, and I already knew it, coaches can control injuries to a certain extent, but they better dang well know who their athletic trainer is, and they better be able to manage and communicate on the risk. Players will not give you everything they've got if they don't believe you're taking care of them. And that goes to your athletic trainer and your doctor. I'll tell you what happened when I was at ASMI. I'd been there about a month or two, and Mal calls me. And he says, you think there's any chance we can get Dr. Andrews to be our team doctor? Y'all do realize that Jimmy Andrews is the only guy to be the team doctor at Alabama and Auburn at the same time. Y'all realize that? You don't, do you?
No.
No. Probably shouldn't. He was on the field at Auburn, but he was the executive at Alabama the whole time. Anyway, I don't need to start that rumor, but that was the truth. But
ain't a rumor, Coach.
Mal said, and I tell you what got him was a kid from Heflin that broke his leg. Remember that? And he got infected. And
yeah. That was number
there's
4.
a picture of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It stuck in the turf. Oh, he made
Pro-throw.
Pro-throw. Yeah.
Pro-throw, yeah. And there was just, Mal and I went back, and we just, he said, tell me about Jimmy and how he handles things. I said, he handles it like a goddamn coach, Mal. He's the SEC pole vault champion. You want to know if he's a competitor? At LSU. And everybody wants their goddamn medical staff to want to win as bad as the damn coach does. And that doesn't happen very many places. But that's what happens with that Andrews crowd.
Well, they know how to get players back on the field and do it safely, and that's what you want to do.
You do know all of Georgia's players come to Birmingham, don't you? When they got to have something.
Well, they would be crazy not to. When the best in the world is within within flying distance. When I was at Alabama, I tore my knee up in the spring of my senior year.
Yeah.
They were going to operate on me. I was scheduled for surgery in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah.
And back then, they cut you, you're out a year.
Oh, yeah. It's railroad track surgery.
Yeah. So,
or scopes.
And the success rate with people in Tuscaloosa was not good at the time.
That's the reason I got the phone call.
Well, this is, I flew, I got on a plane the next day with my dad, who did not like to fly. And it was a rough flight too. He was white. And we flew to the Houston Clinic in Columbus, Georgia.
Yeah.
A guy named Champ. Yep. And Champ Baker.
Baker. Yep.
Champ Baker got tested my knee. He says, we're not going to operate. We're going to cast this and you'll play in the first game. And that's exactly what happened.
What are the chances, honestly, that if you went to see 10 orthopedic surgeons, 9 of them wouldn't have done surgery?
Yeah. 0.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Well, guess who became my team doctor that year?
Who?
Champ Baker. And when
your dad.
Well, no, it was me. I said, Dad, I'm not letting them operate. I don't want to have surgery.
Yeah. Bless you, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, a lot of people's success is tied to, what every coach sees when he goes to his desk at 4:30 in the morning?
What's that?
Injury report. Laying right there. And that athletic trainer, I'm talking about any head coach you want to bring it up, there's that injury report. And he knows that the number one speed dial after his wife is the athletic trainer. And the next one is the team doctor. And at the end of the day, the last person you see is the athletic trainer coming to you and saying, we were good today. I wouldn't leave till I heard that. Nick didn't leave till he heard that. Or, hey, we've got to see him at 5 o'clock in the morning because we might not have him for practice tomorrow. That's life, man.
Yeah.
Everyday life. Either that or you treat them like a bunch of damn powder puffs and they won't hit no damn body because they don't practice stuff. You know what that is?
Yeah.
You played against them, Wes.
Yeah. You got to be tough. You got to be smart. And it's a fine line, isn't it? I mean,
it is a fine line, man. And they're all different. What one can take, the other one can't take. So creating a schedule that's for everybody, it really, let me tell you what, head coaches in my day, Coach Dye used to call me when I was at Arkansas, but I called people all the time is, have you still got the pads on? How many days a week you going in the pads? Are you having middle drill? Just the constant oversight of taking care of, make sure you don't lose somebody that you didn't have to lose. But what's worse sometimes, though, Wes, is they're there, but you only got 60% of them.
Yeah.
I used to look at the film, and I remember looking at Tommy Agee one time late in the year, and I mean that guy would blow you up, and he's playing like a goddamn powder puff. And I went to talk to Bud Casey, and I said, Bud, I ain't blaming this on Tommy. We've taken every damn bullet he's got. He ain't got no bullets left. And then we sat down, and he pulled up how many reps he was in and how many full speed contacts he had. I said, we ain't very damn smart. It ain't Tommy. I mean, we got to rotate him in those damn middle drills. We and Bud knew. I mean, I wasn't and Coach Dye knew too. I mean, we left a lot of games at Auburn on the practice field on Tuesday. You ever heard that before, Wes?
Oh yeah, man, that's 100%. Do you know the Travis Casey story? You know, there's
a bunch of them. Bring it.
So
bring it.
Travis. So he was known at Auburn as Bud Casey, right?
Right.
Well, his real name was Travis Casey.
Yeah,
right.
Moulton, Alabama.
And he was a freshman with my dad at Alabama.
Yep.
He left sometime during there. He quit at Alabama. Okay, my dad had been in the NFL for 5 years, and and he changed his name to Bud Casey. He went and played where? Somewhere in the Southwest.
Southeast Oklahoma. Oklahoma.
And was a rookie.
I know the
story. He was a rookie 8 years later.
29-year-old rookie.
And he came in as Bud Casey. My dad laughed and said, his name's not Bud, it's Travis.
No,
he was in my dad's class.
If you want to get the best stories out of Bo Jackson, if you want to get the best stories out of Bo, bring up Bud. Those two, I mean, I got a lot of ways I could frame it, but none of them would be nice to be on radio. What went on between those two guys?
So I was running out by him in the warm-ups, and I ran right by him. Said, "How you doing, Mr. Travis?" He looked at me and started laughing because he knew exactly what I was talking about. That was what was so fun to me because I knew all those guys, right? I mean, I knew half the staff of the Auburn team.
Well, outside of Larry Blakeney, everybody in that damn staff room was raised off Coach Bryant.
Yeah, well, and Larry Blakeney was the guy that recruited me.
Yeah, he was the only, and I'm telling you, starting with Coach Dye. Okay, Pat thought he was Coach that Coach Bryant was his dad. And I've got some stories to tell you how I came to that conclusion that they're emotional. Don't need me telling them probably, but Neil Calloway, Wayne Hall, Bud.
Yeah, Wayne Hall was from Huntsville High.
Yeah,
played at Alabama. My dad helped sign him back in the day. Yeah, I knew all of them. I've been around them all my life.
Yeah. Well, I'm really excited that all this is starting. So, with this NIL stuff, you wonder what the locker room is like with. I mean, because we can use some kind of predictor of how they were recruited or what their stats were at some other place, but man, it's
we're gonna find out tomorrow night what they if they're gonna, because if they lose this game, which I think they're gonna win. Steve thinks they will not win.
They're gonna win.
Yeah,
they're gonna.
I think they'll win. But if they lose this game, I mean, I think Texas A&M could be the surprise team in the Southeastern Conference nobody's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Could be. I mean, I don't know what their offensive line looks like and their defensive line.
They're massive.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're
massive.
But they got a quarterback that can win games.
Yeah.
And if he plays well in a game, it's going to be hard to beat them.
Marcel Reed.
Yeah, and so they got I know they got the strength coach.
Yeah.
Who knows how to win.
Yeah.
So to me, the locker room will be right. The last year when they started, I know it wasn't right, but now a year later, it probably is. So they play Georgia. I mean, Texas A&M. They're at Oklahoma. There's this to me is a game that they can get on the right track and then grow. Figure out who they are. But if they get beat, it's going to be tough.
And it'll be a game by game proposition. I don't know when the first sort of is A&M very far down? I don't know their schedule.
No, I think they play.
It's a couple of Georgia is an early game. I know
Georgia
after the two cupcakes.
Let me tell you what, I went over and visited Kirby, and was Stacy Searles and Mike Bobo. Now, I mean,
right? Yeah,
Bobo
I was there. I went yesterday, Coach, to the.
All right, I mean
to Georgia.
I can look in their eyes and tell what's going on, and I hung around there for a little while. Don't underestimate them dudes.
Oh yeah, they're gonna get them ready. There's no question.
They got a Nick Saban air about them over there now. And everybody walks and talks exactly the same. Everybody. So I don't know, but I asked Mike, are you missing something to make plays? He said, nope. I said, all right.
Coach, just to answer your question, after Ball State and South Alabama, it's at Oklahoma, at Texas A&M, then host Georgia. How about that 3-game stretch on September 20th, 27th, and October 11th?
I'm telling you now. Hey,
that's what I'm talking about. This Baylor's a must win for Auburn for their confidence more than anything.
Boy, that 3-game stretch right there.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
They have got.
That'll check your Earl.
Ooh. Anyway, I'm glad I'm not trying to feed my children off of it anymore. But back in my days, there wasn't a buyout where you'd say, well, just buy me out. Because I can't believe these guys in the back of their mind are saying, just buy my ass out. Tommy told me, we got to talking. He says, I had the first buyout in the history of NCAA football. I said, well, you started some crap, didn't you? He said when they sent that plane up there and then they tried to come back and it was 2004, he had them. You know this, don't you? I mean, he had them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's college football changed a bunch of ways right there. Number one, here comes the playoff system. Number two is, you're going to play crap with me, you're going to pay for it. Every contract since then, which who his agent was. Yes.
Was that Sexton? Or
Yep.
When in doubt, Jimmy Sexton. Well, Coach, I'll let you. So I realize the first quarter is almost done. Yeah. I've got it scoreless between the Knights and the Gamecocks.
Y'all know Alabama's invested in this head coach, right? Y'all do know he was co-defensive coordinator for.
Well, Coach, I was about to ask you about Charles Kelly and what your opinion of him was.
Think the world of him.
Yeah.
The only thing is he's not been a head coach.
Well, I mean, he was there with Coach Burgess, so that says a lot right there.
Absolutely. I'm the one that called Bill and told him to hire him. I mean, when he graduated, Pat called me and said, "This boy needs to be coaching. Get him a job."
Well,
I called Bill. Of course, he probably paid Bill to coach because it wasn't nothing to pay.
Well,
I tell you, who else? I got at the same time, Patrick Nick, both of them.
Wow.
Wow.
Well,
but I'm telling you now,
Coach Kelly has a track record. He has a history that looks a lot like yours, Coach. So I feel pretty good about him.
It's not if. I'm telling you, anybody following it ain't if with this guy. I mean, I know him through being with Chan at Georgia Tech. I mean, not that I was following him, but it just sort of weaved that way.
Yeah.
It ain't a matter of if for this dude now. I mean, he's a baller. That guy he's replacing was as good as there is all time, though. Rich Rod.
Yeah.
You talk about pulling them out of the air now.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see.
There's a bunch of excited alumni up here, Coach, looking for it.
Coach, be sure and keep tight to that phone. I'd love to have you on here during football season.
Anytime. Wes is holding me hostage, but I'm going to get him back. You do know that, right, Wes?
How holding you hostage? How am I holding you hostage?
Because I don't ever say no to you.
That's true.
That's true.
That's true.
Only time I said no to you was I had 300 people sitting in front of me fixing to have a banquet. It's the only no you ever got from me.
Well, we should have put that live on the air.
That would have been.
Well, we're gonna help you next year. That's for sure.
Yeah, I need your help, and hey,
what you're doing is good work, Coach. We know that.
We're making things happen. And for everybody there, let me tell you what: you have a lot of people talking ball that ain't a baller. Mr. West is a big time baller. So when he talks, I tend to agree.
That was a was.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you so much, Coach. Look forward to seeing you.
Yeah,
Coach.
Yep.
That is we are going to talk to Coach Crow more and more this fall because his insight is unlike anybody else.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, that is going to do it here from Woody Anderson Ford. If you're in the market for a new or used vehicle, come on by here to Woody Anderson Ford, or if you need some service on a vehicle. It does not have to be a Ford. I'd probably prefer that, but it does not have to be a Ford, or they can come to you.
Hey, they came to service my father-in-law's Tacoma right in his driveway.
All you got to do is head over to the website, WoodyAndersonFord.com, and you can schedule it. Does not cost any extra for them to come to you rather than you coming here to the dealership. They are promoting this service with you in mind. So keep that in mind. Braves baseball comes up next. It is a 5-3 Phillies lead in the middle of the third right now for that contest. That comes up next, and then we will talk to you tomorrow for another Football Friday here on The Drive.
It's the Ford Summer Sales Event at Woody Anderson Ford. Hey folks, Bobby White back again, and I'm here to tell you now is the time to get the Ford you've been thinking about. From 0 down leases to 0% financing, we've got it going on this summer. Woody Anderson Ford has financing as low as 0% for 48 months, plus 0 down payment, plus 0 payments for 90 days, plus 2-year, 25,000